All set. Alrighty, we'll get started, and I'd like to welcome everyone to a regular town board meeting for the town of Monroe for April 13th, 2021. And please ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Hogan.
Here.
Councilmember Newman.
Here.
Councilmember Van Tassel.
Here.
Councilmember Donahue.
Here.
Supervisor Kuznier.
Here. And ask that everyone please rise. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Item 1 on the agenda, as is customary, is approval of minutes. I only have the audit meeting for March 30th, because I know board members had received that in advance. And the ones for the regular board meeting are pretty extensive. I'm sure, I think they were available today, you probably didn't have time to read them. So my recommendation of the board is okay just to go ahead and approve the minutes for the audit meeting for March 30th, 2021.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimously. Set future meetings and workshops. I'm okay for the moment. Anybody else have a meeting? Update on COVID-19. Just got some numbers hot off the press a couple hours ago. In Saratoga County, total number of confirmed cases today now totals 14,167. Number of active cases is presently 498. Number of individuals that have recovered is 13,509, and we have 20 individuals that are currently hospitalized. Unfortunately, the total death number for Saratoga County is now at 160. In the town of Monroe, we've had a total confirmed number of cases at 646. In the village, it's 175. And total number of deaths in the town of Monroe stands at 12, with 0 deaths in the village. Presently, there are 34 active cases in the town of Monroe and 7 active cases in the village. Overall, number of recovered cases in the town is 600. Number of recovered cases in the village is 168. We continue to our aggressive efforts to get our residents vaccinated in the county. And at this time, as of close of business yesterday, there have been 101,340 county residents that have received at least 1 dose of the vaccine, and that equates to 44% of our county residents. Number of individuals that have received Series Complete vaccine is 70,892, and that extrapolates to 31% of our residents that are completely vaccinated. If you break that down even further, number of seniors vaccinated in the county now totals 32,250, which phenomenally is 74.6% of our seniors have received at least 1 dose. Those that are Series Complete with the vaccine, numbers 28,458, which is 66% of our seniors. All great news. Unfortunately, as is happening around the state, we've seen an uptick a little bit in the 7-day rolling average testing positivity rate to 3.3%. Talking with our public health commissioner and other public health officials at the county, one of the reasons for that is less testing that's going on, and those that are being tested are those that have a higher probability of having been exposed, so you have a higher positivity rate. But we're hoping to see that start to trend down again in the near future. So that's where we are with that. Governor has issued some guidance on outdoor ceremonies. Effective May 1st, they will be allowed with limited capacity depending on the event size and location. We will have those that criteria on our website, but for outdoor events, large-scale ceremonies of over 500 people at outdoor venues will be limited to 20% capacity, applicable to venues with a total capacity of 2,500 or more. Indoor events and large-scale ceremonies of over 150 people at indoor event venues will be limited to 10% capacity, applicable to venues with a total capacity of 1,500 or more. And we'll also have on our website, I'm not going to go through it all, updated interim guidance from the New York State Department of Health in relation to the end of the academic year celebrations during the COVID-19 state of emergency. Item number 4 on the agenda is the annual MS4 stormwater report, as is statutorily required. I have a report from our stormwater management officer, and I am required to read the following: the MS4 annual report. I'm required by law to make the public aware that the MS4 stormwater report has been completed for the period of March 10, 2020 to March 9, 2021. And the draft report is available for review on the town's website. In addition, copies are available at the town clerk's office as well as the highway department. Should the public have any questions or comments, they should be directed in writing to Maureen Lurkes, Stormwater Management Officer, 1543 Route 9, Monroe, New York, 12828. Or they can be submitted via email to Monroe, hwy@townofmonroe.org. So there's the official notice of that. Next item is the NBRC grant application. The NBRC grant stands for the Northern Border Regional Commission, which is an entity that was established. It's actually a partnership between the federal government and the states of Maine, New Hampshire, New York, and Vermont. And it provides for an opportunity to secure infrastructure grants up to $1 million. However, they require 50% match. So we have a resolution that allows us to move forward with the grant application, which is required to be adopted by the board. If the board members are in agreement, I'll ask the clerk to read the resolution and take it up for discussion if somebody wants to.
Town of Monroe resolution authorizing the supervisor to apply for and receive funding under the Northern Regional Commission grant. Whereas the Northern Border Regional Commission is a partnership between the federal government and the states of Maine, New Hampshire, New York, and Vermont. And whereas the mission of the NBRC is to provide investments to job-creating projects that help reduce poverty, unemployment, and out-migration. And whereas under said grant program, applicants are required to authorize an official representative to file the application. And whereas the town of Monroe plans to extend sewer infrastructure in the Route 9 commercial corridor to further future economic development efforts. And whereas the town of Monroe is eligible to apply for an infrastructure grant up to $1 million, which must include a 50% local match. And now therefore, it is resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to execute and file an application on behalf of the town of Monroe with the 2021 NBRC grant. And be it further resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to designate as the representative and to act as such in connection with the application to provide additional information as may be required, including all understandings and assurances contained in the application. And be it further resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute any contract and/or agreement, executive's permission to sign any and all NBRC investment documents that bind the town of Monroe. And be it further resolved to the extent all or any actions hereby authorized have been executed and/or performed by the supervisor, all are hereby ratified and confirmed, and this resolution take effect immediately.
Thank you, Leanne. Would someone like to move that?
Second.
Councilman Hogan, seconded by Councilmember Noonan. Discussion. Questions, comments on that?
Good opportunity to secure some funding.
If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6, we have some recreation department requests. First one I have is a request to purchase a 6x12 dump trailer that has at least a 9,500 pound gross vehicle weight rating and a minimum 7,500 pound payload capacity. That has electronic trailer brakes, a combo gate with ramps, and a tarp kit. We have a quote of $6,995 from Brummers Unlimited in Hudson Falls. We reached out to a local vendor here, Clausen Equipment. Did not provide a quote because I guess they may not, it doesn't have any in stock and they may not have any this year. Another quote was secured in the amount of $9,166 from Versatile Trailer Sales in Gansford. And we reached out to Outdoor Motorsports and Trailer Sales in Amsterdam, New York, which did not provide a quote because they had no 12-foot trailers in stock and they weren't sure when they would receive it. So we actually have 2 quotes to deliberate on. The recommendation is to go with Brummers Unlimited. The account that this purchase would be paid from is account A7140.2, which has a present balance of $8,101.46 as of March 31. And we actually budgeted for this item, the amount of $7,000 when we put the budget together. So I'd like to move that.
I would move that we purchase a 6x12 dump trailer from Brummers Unlimited with the price of $6,995.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And the next request we have is for, also from the Recreation Department, an OEM replacement engine for the parks Titan Powerline 850 airless paint sprayer. Replacement part number is 293943. And the first quote we have is from Sherwin-Williams in Queensbury, with a verbal quote of $650. The next vendor is SprayPartsUSA.com in Georgia at $625.22. And the third vendor is Spray Equipment Parts from Grand Junction, Colorado for $637.08. This would be purchased, well, the recommendation is to go local with Titan dealer distributor, which is Sherwin-Williams in Queensbury. We also have an account with them presently. This will be paid from account 7140.4. Present balance is $58,294.07 as of the end of March. And I don't think we budgeted for it, but obviously this is something that needs to be repaired so that machine is usable. So,
Motion to approve.
Second.
any discussion? None, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
Just for clarification, can I ask what you're approving? Are you approving?
Oh, I'm sorry.
the request to go with Sherwin-Williams?
Yes, yep. In the amount of $600, not to exceed $650. What's that?
Yep.
All right, ready.
Thanks for clarifying.
Next item I have is, this is crossing guard item number 7. We have received a letter of resignation from a longtime crossing guard, John P. Hayes, which will be effective May 28th. John has done a phenomenal job for us for at least 15 years, maybe even longer. Over at Tanglewood, I can tell you that the kids absolutely loved seeing him, and he liked dealing with the children. So he was a great asset for us, and we'll have to accept his resignation, unfortunately. Someone like to move accepting his resignation.
Make a resolution to accept resignation of our crossing guard over at Tanglewood School. Johnny.
So moved.
Any discussion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carries unanimously.
Should we be advertising for new crossing guards?
Well, we have time on that, because the school year will be wrapping up. You know, we should have a conversation. We have had in the past. I think there was some thought that we may not want to backfill those positions as people resign, retire, et cetera, but we can have further discussion on that as we get there,
Okay.
whatever the board's pleasure is.
I know there's many letters to May 28th, so I know we got a month to go before the end, so.
Actually, school went up.
June 24th.
And is there anybody else that would be filling in for him over there?
We don't have anybody lined up, although my office has historically provided coverage. But we're hopping quite a bit, but we might be able to have,
Your office?
might be able to provide a pinch hitter in there for, we'll see, unless a town board member would like to take that on.
I'm busy that time of day at the high school, so I'm out.
All right, we can take that up down the road. Item A to supervisor items. Let's see, we got a couple of correspondence I want to make the board aware of. Actually, we might require action. Received a letter from Christine Orr, superintendent of schools. I was CC'd on it, requesting that the board of election commissioners authorize utilization of four optical scan voting machines for the election Tuesday, May 18, 2021. I don't think we have to take action because we don't have any authority to do so. You don't do anything on your end, right? So I want to make the board aware of that request. I would succeed on as supervisor as well as Supervisor Peck and former supervisor Bart Johnson from Town of Welton. He's not the supervisor now. Supervisor John Landon. So I'll reach out to them more about that change. We did receive some good news from the Environmental Facilities Corporation in relation to, if you recall, we did an addendum to the Clean Water State Revolving Fund Program in relation to the Route 9 wastewater collection system. In the correspondence from their assistant program manager, they acknowledged receipt of the engineering agreement addendum. I have a number for that, 2018107-1, which was dated March 26, 2001, which is in relation to the Endangered Species Impact Study. And the amount of that study was $2,875 between the Laverge Group and Town of Monroe. They reviewed the scope of services and found it was acceptable and being in compliance with the applicable Clean Water State Revolving Loan Fund regulations. So therefore, costs associated with the program for these services are now eligible for financial assistance from the program. So that's good news. I reached out, or had my office reach out to board members in relation to a request that we have from the Rural Emergency Squad. They purchased their fuel from the village. I believe the village, if they're not under a consent order, I do know that they have issues with their pumps and tanks, and they're making some changes there. So while that occurs, the emergency squad reached out to see if the town would be willing to let them use our pumps at Highway Garage. I had a conversation with the highway superintendent. He was okay with it. He just wanted us to know that they're relatively small tanks, so therefore it would require, probably more refilling the tanks more frequently. We polled the board. Majority of the board responded and said they were okay with it. I just wanted to make sure that the board's still okay with that before we get the green light. And I did ask them to give me a copy of their fuel usage. And the most recent usage, which is September 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021, was 1,151 gallons of gasoline and 1,111 gallons of diesel. So over that time period, kind of gives you the ballpark of what kind of consumption we're gonna have down there. So I don't think it'll be a problem. We have the ability to track the purchases. I think the only thing they'll need is key for access to the property, which Paul can get that. So if everybody's okay with that, I'll let them know that's. And at this point in time, it's temporary. So I did complete a request for an application for funding through Congresswoman Lisa Stefanik's office, requesting funding through the Environmental Protection Agency State and Tribal Assistance Grants Program, also known as STAG, for supplemental funding for the town road wastewater collection system improvements and projects. And hopefully we'll get some good news on that. The last item I have is, and I don't know, I think board members received a copy in their office from our zoning administrator looking for direction on where we want to go with a recommendation of a change to our local code in relation to fences. We'll take that up for discussion maybe at the next board meeting. Just want to make you aware that I think it went in your boxes today.
I just saw it.
So we'll take that. Committee reports, I need to have a couple items. We received information from the county that there is no eligible list that exists for the transfer station manager position that we created. Sent out on the paperwork this week. So that means that we will be able to advertise for the position since there is not an existing list.
So we received one application for that so far.
One application, okay.
All of our current employees.
Did we already advertise? Is that? Okay.
I think it's working.
Yeah, that's right. So what I would suggest, maybe a recommendation on how the compensation you want to have there so that we can do an advertisement. I don't know if transfer station wants to look at that, personnel committee. I'll take recommendations from anybody. We'll get that together and we'll do an advertisement when we have that information filed. And I do have the transfer station manager description from the county. And I can share that with all the board members if you want that. Next item on our committee reports is buildings and grounds. I'm sorry, does anybody have anything to add to that?
No.
The other item I have is the town hall fire alarm system replacement. I think, I know Councilmember Hogan has been working on this. It came to the town's attention that we need to do a replacement with the town hall fire alarm system. I was very unhappy to learn that when at the time of the installation of the fire alarm system that we have, prior to being installed, it was already obsolete. It wasn't manufactured. You couldn't get parts for it. And it's no longer serviced by the manufacturer. There's no warranty with it. So bottom line is we need to move forward with addressing that. So I don't know if you have more to add to it.
No, not at this point. We had 3 votes. I was thinking that there might have been a 4th one coming.
Yeah, I can look at the active.
Yeah.
So I know, I want to thank Councilmember Hogan for, I know he's done a lot of legwork on this, securing us some quotes. So I think maybe we should, if we're gonna get a fourth quote, we'll compile them all together. And
I think what we were gonna do is, I have access to some people that know there's a space. I don't know if we're gonna actually get another quote, but we were gonna get a professional opinion to review it.
okay,
Some subject matter experts. We'll do that very quick.
okay. So that's, we gotta
We'll
get
try
that.
to have that information before the next meeting.
Sure, we gotta, I just wanna get on everybody's radar. Anyway, that's that. That's all I have under committee reports. Any other committee reports?
On transfer station, I spoke with John, I touched base with last meeting about an issue that a resident pointed out to me in our recycling bin up there for the metals and all that stuff. You got that little chain across there, and it's not overly safe. I've talked to people in the building grounds with an idea, we kicked around a little bit, and he's gonna look into putting something up there. Maybe a swing gate, so people aren't trying to put their own stuff in. We just don't want anybody fall in that bin.
I thought we gave residents the option of just placing it there and our employees would throw it.
Well, the big stuff, it says do not throw it in yourself, but it doesn't mean that people won't be trying to throw it in themselves. And even when people love to throw their small stuff in, you got that piece of wood in front, they trip over that and they're throwing their stuff in.
I think we should have, so they don't throw it in, it's our employees only to throw it.
That's fine, you know, and when we move forward with the transfer station manager, have more oversight.
Yes.
Because you certainly don't want to go in that. Or employees, or.
We don't want anybody falling into it.
Yeah, so we're not going into this, but, I just, like I said, I talked to Peter in building grounds and, kicked around a couple ideas, so we might just continue to kick it around and see if we can come up with just a secure that one bit better.
Great, thanks. Anything else?
I wanted to ask you, did you get any more information about the step on the pay order?
Yes, I did, I'll start with, thank you. I talked to, what's called, Mr. Joseph, and, I asked him about that, because the thing is, the stuff that they've done, they did a good job improvising on it, but the train sways in the wind, and it's a dangerous situation. Those guys getting up and down in there, I hate to see anybody get hurt. So I said to him, could you look up and get a price, maybe on a replacement step? The thing's so old, we can't get a replacement step.
Can they weld it?
He said it would have to be special made. But, you know, something, I'm just afraid somebody's gonna get hurt. Like I said, they've done a good job improvising, but it just sways in the wind, and it's dangerous. Maybe I'll talk to him about, I don't know if he'd be able to make one up or not, or maybe we have to have somebody make one up. But, I think something could be done for somebody to
Well, we could get a historical mounting block that they use for horses and they can fall.
something, you know, I think
I know there's some stones we use.
yeah, I just wouldn't want to see somebody.
Yeah, no, did Paul take a look at it or no?
Paul just said, you can't get one. He says
Well,
they don't make those things so,
yeah, well, I'll take a look at it too.
and have to be fabricated, and I don't know how we go about getting that, get a price or whatever for that.
I'll follow up with that.
All right, great.
I do need a really brief executive session to discuss contract negotiations on real property for town.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? It doesn't require a vote, just report no action taken. Is that accurate? All right, we're out of executive session, and I can report that no action was taken in executive session, and we will not be taking any further action in the open board meetings this evening, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Sure.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very